Well, hello there. It's Baka here with the 10th episode of the Wide World of Geek. Yes, it's been 10 episodes. We're still going strong. Our subscription status may not be up to much of anything, and our viewership may not be as high as I would like it, but this is only episode number 10. We can only grow. Anyway, so there are a few things that have happened in this last week of Geek, and some of them are good, some of them are sad. We're going to start off on a interesting note. Just today, who would it be? I guess Marvel Films, Universal, whoever it was that actually made the Avengers movie, have released an alternate opening to the movie. Not an alternate ending, but an alternate opening. It's about a minute and a half long. You can view it at the link that I'm going to put down below here. And what it does is it shows a lot of the tension that exists between Nick Fury, commander of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Agent Maria Hill. Now, in the comics, this tension showed through really strongly through Civil War, Secret War. Hill ends up taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. from Nick Fury. It then goes to Tony Stark, and then it kind of goes back to Maria, or it goes to Maria Hill, then it goes to Norman Osborn, then it kind of goes back to Maria Hill, and then it goes to Captain America. I have no clue who actually runs it nowadays. But it's a really interesting opening. I highly recommend seeing it. It actually takes place after the rest of the movie happens. So they show a little bit of glimpse of what happened during the big battle of the movie, and it's a debriefing type thing. It's really interesting. The second bit of news I want to mention that is somewhat interesting is the cover to All New X-Men number 2 has been released. It's either number 2 or number 3. I'm not actually sure. Yes, it's number 2. And basically what they're doing with the All New X-Men number 1, number 2, there's some alternate covers, but they're all tying together. What's interesting about this is that they have shown on this cover Cyclops, Emma Frost, Magneto, and Magic. 4 major X-Men players, 3 of which have been part of the Phoenix 5 of the Avengers vs. X-Men series going on. And one of the things that we have not seen have been any of these 4 characters shown in any of the Marvel Now releases, any of the teasers they've shown. They were being fairly careful not to show anything that might allude to the ending of Avengers vs. X-Men. Now, there's only one more month to go in Avengers vs. X-Men, and then Marvel Now pretty much happens right afterwards, or they might take a month or so off, but I don't think so. But they have not shown, especially Cyclops or Emma Frost. We know as of issue number 11 of Avengers vs. X-Men, in their Phoenix forms, they're fighting with each other. We've been told that someone major is going to die. The rumors were maybe Cyclops, maybe Professor X, maybe someone else. It appears that it's not Cyclops, it's not Emma Frost, it's not Magneto, and it's not Magic. Now, when you look at the whole wraparound cover of this, you have on one side those 4 and some random civilian in street clothes. The middle has got the original 5 X-Men, because they're supposed to be being pulled from time or something. And on the right side is Wolverine's crew. So it looks like the events of Schism, however you want to say it, are still in effect. Wolverine and Cyclops still aren't getting along. They have got their 2 different camps, and they're keeping it that way. But it's interesting to get a little hint at what might be coming. Number 3, on YouTube, there is a very popular YouTuber named Philip DeFranco. He created, as an alternate way of getting news out there, he created the YouTube internet news show SourceFed. I love SourceFed. I watch it every day. They give you 5 different stories. But what's interesting here is that they are doing some live streams on YouTube through both SourceFed and through Philip DeFranco's his own regular show, the Philip DeFranco Show, where they're covering the Republican National Convention. Now, yesterday it was Philip DeFranco, one of his main SourceFed anchors, Elliot Morgan, and one of their new SourceFed anchors, Meg Turney, discussing what's going on at the convention, discussing Ron Paul and the effect he's having. And they are trying to keep it as bipartisan as possible. And it's not altogether a possible thing. And they've made this clear. They've shown their own opinions about things, and they've given each other heat for it. You definitely know one stands on one side of issues, one stands on another, and the other isn't quite sure what to think. But it's really interesting. It's not very mature. Like, and I mean by mature, I mean it's not, well, I am going to talk about politics today, and I'm going to be all blah, blah, blah. They're 20-somethings. They are discussing the issues from the viewpoint of the younger generation. Technically, it's the generation just before me. It's more of my younger brother's generation. But it's nice getting this kind of digital online generation's viewpoint on things, and know that there are people out there that care about the issues. They care about what the politicians are saying, what they're planning on doing. So there's that. Now, last bit of news. And this is a horribly sad piece of news. I know that recently we had news of Joe Kubert's death. Well, an American hero has died. The first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, died at the age of 82 this past week from complications due to heart surgery. He died while recovering from this cardiac surgery. And the world has lost a true hero, not just an American hero, but a world hero. This is one of the first men to orbit the Earth in the Gemini series of rockets. This was the first man to ever set foot on the moon. And I know there are plenty of people out there saying, well, the moon landing didn't happen, it was faked, it was a movie said, look at this, look at that. Well, bull crap, I say. There have been plenty of experts who have gone through and have tested all these different things. Mythbusters is the least official version to do this, and they showed pretty darn clearly that all of this stuff could only happen in the, in the vacuum or gravity of space. It could not be recreated on Earth in a studio. They had to use vacuum chambers, and they had to do this and all that. So, all I'm saying with this is, Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon, dead at 82. That's going to do it for this week's Wide World of Geek. Join us in a few days for the weekend workshop. We're going to be doing a one-part episode this week that's going to be on shading, how to shade, not necessarily the right way, but a very good way, a proper way, and a way to think of it in easier terms. So it's not frustrating, it's not insane. But until then, this is Baka signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.